Guys, something really interesting is happening currently in gym culture. And basically, what's happening, to sum it up in layman's terms, is Gen Z's finding more enjoyment in going to the gym and becoming physically active rather than historical other types of social interactions, such as going to clubs, going out drinking, that sort of thing. And I think it's really interesting because, first of all, social media has allowed for wide stream kind of access to gym knowledge beforehand. If you wanted to be like a super big bodybuilder, you'd have to, go through tons and tons of niche different locations to try to find information on how to be a better bodybuilder. Versus now, all you gotta do is a quick 30-second YouTube search, and you've got a whole list of videos, great meal prep, great different bodybuilding plans, great plans on just if you want to be more physically active, like how to make your body better. And it's really interesting. Also, on top of that, another thing that's happened due to social media is, heightened fitness standards. And I think it's really affected Gen Z because what's happened is basically a lot of people in Gen Z, they're trying to compare themselves to these top 1% athletes. And what's happening as a result is, unfortunately, it's not always super healthy because, again, these people, a lot of them are juicing, a lot of them aren't natty. But what's happening is these people, these influencers that are super top 1%, 0.001%, they're making people want to be the best versions of themselves. And that's good, no matter what the actual people that are juicing, that's bad. But influencing people to try to be the best of themselves, that's a great thing. And that's just going to be beneficial overall. So people are going to the gym more, they're being more physically active, more physically fit. And this is kind of, it's really, really noticeable in the younger generation because basically what's happening is you'll see that the gym's actually becoming more and more of a social area. Now, I know that, of course, there's like the stereotype of, like those high schoolers with curly hair, they're not going to be doing anything. They're going to be on the bench for 4 hours. They're not going to actually hit a lift. I mean, of course, that's a stereotype. But, I mean, it's really interesting because stereotypes, a lot of the times, not all the times, but a lot of the times they do have like some amount of truth in them. And it's really like interesting because you can see Gen Z is definitely staying in the gym more. They're going to the gym more. They're going consistently. They're not just going for a day. They're not just going for a week. They are staying in the gym consistently, training hard, working hard. And on top of that, they're not just staying in the gym. They are eating healthily. They're watching, they're learning, they're trying to get better each and every day so they can train harder, faster, and longer. Okay? That's interesting. Now, this has had some negative ramifications on some historically large commercial gyms, such as Planet Fitness. Okay, Planet Fitness, their whole business model is basically to profit off of the fact that people are not going to stay active. They're going to eventually quit, and eventually they're going to stop going to the gym. And when they stop going to the gym, they're not going to stop paying. So that's how all these like commercial gyms make a lot of their money, is even though the people aren't going, even though the people aren't training hard, they're still paying. So that's how they make their money. Versus Gen Z, they keep training, they keep going to the gym. And it's kind of had an interesting dynamic because what's happened is these large commercial gyms, they're offering huge discounts to Gen Z, huge discounts to young people. So it'd be like, oh, you can get a free during the summer if you go to Planet Fitness. Okay, like that's one example of it. And what's happened is the interesting thing is Gen Z has kept going. They haven't stopped. So what's happened is you've had a lot of young people, a lot of enthusiastic people, a lot of people training hard, and they're hurting the business model of these historically large commercial gyms. Now, I think an interesting thing is going to be to see how these commercial gyms react to this, because will these gyms change their business model and try to be more exclusive and more goal oriented and more youth oriented, or will they stay like they have been in the past, and will they get left behind with the times? Because remember, guys, this generation, they're not quitting. They're training hard consistently, and if the gym's not going to match them, they'll just go somewhere else. Because imagine, think of all the gyms you can think of, like off the top of your head. Even if you're not like a super in the gym all the time guy, you can at least think of 5 gyms. So that's all they have to do. And I also think it's going to be interesting to see how Gen Z reacts to a steroid epidemic. Steroids have become super rampant, especially in social media. You can see it. I know you can name 5 guys if you've watched any of these gym guys. I know you can name 5 guys off the top of your head that are juicing right now or you think are juicing. And also, it's just, it's not healthy for the young guys because, they're going to be comparing themselves to them, but they are also going to be comparing themselves to them. So it will have some positive consequences because they're going to be pushing themselves harder. Now, a negative consequence is we don't want people on steroids, but we do want people trying to be the best and attaining any goal. Even if that goal is slightly unattainable, you still want to be pushing towards that goal. Because remember, if you reach for the stars, you're going to at least hit the moon. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.